yet another episode of the Blackhawks Hockey Central podcast. I am Joe Vitali, and that is Skoks. Today we're going to be touching on a couple of things. Nothing too crazy. It is July 19th, so not a lot of stuff going on. But we're just going to jump right in here. Conor Bedard is playing in the National Inline Hockey League. That's taking place in North Vancouver, where he's from.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to go check out some highlights from that, he's scoring some sick goals. And I think inline hockey really has a chance to pop off in the United States. Just because, ice hockey is getting popular in the South, but, inline you can play year round. So maybe some of those southern states and southern leagues, now that Vegas won the Cup and Miami, Sunrise, Florida,
Mm-hmm.
Panthers were also in the Cup final. Maybe you can start seeing some basketball courts turned into inline hockey rinks or whatnot. Shared spaces that can really grow the game.
Mm-hmm. Right, and I've played some inline games in the Chicagoland area, right, and seeing the NHLers just like showing up and showing out with it. I think it's great for the game, right? Just expanding, the sport, and to see Bedard play during the off season, and he was playing with, I believe, Andrew Crystal um, for a few years now, just an inline, just for fun, and that's great for like younger kids, during the off season, just playing some hockey, and that's great to see, man. It's
Yeah,
great.
I loved when they asked Connor Bedard, they're like, "So, like, what do you like to do besides play hockey?"
Hmm.
And he's like, "Well, I play inline, like I play roller hockey."
Right.
It's like, okay, how about something else, man? Do you like going to shows? You like
Hmm.
what?
Yeah.
Like playing video games? What's going on here?
Yeah, man. He is all hockeyed up. He just wants to hit the ice and let's get the season going. I could tell he's very, very eager just to get everything going. Perfect.
And as are we.
Right.
Um, Other news: Marcel Marcel,
Hmm.
the 131st overall pick of this year. He signed an AHL exclusive deal with the Rockford Ice Hogs. And you might be wondering, well, is he allowed? He is. You have to be 20 years old to sign an AHL deal.
Hmm.
And so he will be in October, I want to say. So he's going to be 20. He signed the contract and he's going to play for the Rockford Ice Hogs. 6'4", 243. This is a big boy. And if you've been following the Blackhawks socials, he's also a bit of a comedian.
Hmm.
So really great personality. And those are the types of guys, those glue guys almost. They keep the roster together. And um, you know they're there to lighten the mood in the locker room, so maybe you're on a cold streak.
Hmm.
He's there to make it light, make it okay, and realize that it's just a game they're playing and they're having a great time. So he played in the QMJHL last season for
Hmm.
the Gatineau Olympiques, and 52 games played for 32 points, 53 penalty minutes. So he's a penalty minute a game type guy. Likes to mix it up, but they got rid of fighting in the queue. So uh, obviously that part of his game is not going to be as desirable or
Hmm.
as wanted. Um, he plays a hard nosed game, and this is what you really like to see in the playoffs. 13 games played, 8 points.
Hmm.
So you're and he's still keeping up the PIMs at 12. So,
Right.
and a +7. So he's on the ice, he's mucking it up. He's giving his other guys space so that they can go and bury the biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
So really looking forward to him on the Rockford IceHogs next year.
Yeah, and I didn't really expect him to get the first shot at Rockford because he is turning 20, right? Yeah, and I was expecting the sixth round pick. I forgot his first name, but Oscarsson, the Swedish kid from uh, Sweden, right? But he was like 6'6". He's already 20, turning 21 very soon. But you would expect him to jump up to Rockford this year. But hey, it's great to see Marcel Marcel get that first contract during his draft year, right? And he plays a physical game. He contributes on the offensive end, right? 14 goals, 18 assists. I mean, that's great. If he's going to develop in Rockford as like a middle six type of winger center with size, that's great. And who knows if he performs like very well, right? We could see him at the end of the year, or maybe he'll jump up next year for a third, fourth line role, right? And that would be great.
Yeah, Milton Oscarsson.
Right, right. Milton,
So
Milton.
he is 20,
Mm-hmm.
born February 18th, 2003,
Right.
6'6", 216. So it looks like
Mm-hmm.
he could use a couple Italian beefs, maybe combos, hot peppers,
Right,
and a large cheese fry. Well done.
right.
Probably throw a cake shake in there. Why not?
Yeah. Light dip on the grease. You don't want
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
too crazy, but
No,
yeah.
no, you don't want to dunk it. You don't want to
No, no.
submerge it.
Yeah.
Yes, so not a very offensive player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and he doesn't really have a lot of pims either. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, maybe, yeah, I mean, you could probably see him. We'll get him one more year in the SHL playing
Right.
against men,
Right.
and maybe he can find something, figure something out,
Mm-hmm.
and contribute offensively. Because, I mean, in the playoffs last season, he was a half a point per game player, 13
Mm-hmm.
games, six points,
Right.
plus 10. So, you know, defensive defensive forward, penalty
Mm-hmm.
killer, bottom six type guy.
Mm-hmm.
Got that size, 6'6".
Yeah.
So
And yeah, and he had some opportunities with Leo Carlson there on the top line,
nice.
and I believe he had some apples with him, and he did bury some pucks over from Leo Carlson. So that's good to see that he could play with those skilled players, right? He could play his role, right? He doesn't jump off the page, but he knows where to go, and if he's good on the defensive side, also, that's great to see for his development too.
Yeah, I mean, when you say like he's playing with Leo Carlson,
Hmm.
we know Leo Carlson has that awesome hockey IQ,
Right.
really, really high hockey IQ, and that's something you can't really teach.
Hmm.
So, you know, maybe Oscar's hands aren't the best, or maybe
Hmm.
his skating isn't needs a little bit of work. Well, we can work on that. We
Hmm.
can he'll get a nice couple sessions with Kendall Coyne,
Right.
and he'll be on the skating, working on all those peripherals, and maybe he'll start getting a little mean and
Hmm.
burying people in the second row. So
Exactly.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Hmm.
Marcel Marcel, the comedian. And
Hmm.
if you want to look on YouTube, he's
Hmm.
got a nice, really nice goal from the most recent World Junior Championships when
Right.
he was playing for Czechia against Switzerland.
Hmm.
And Yeah, it's a coast to coaster,
Right.
shorthanded, I want to say,
Yep. I saw that
and
one. Yep.
really, really good little backhand, forehand cut to the middle,
Hmm.
bury it.
Yeah, pretty nifty for his size, right? Just to go
Exactly.
coast to coast like that.
Yeah,
That's a pretty nifty play, and hey, that's great to see. That is great to see.
for sure. And then speaking of the Rockford Ice Hogs, well,
Hmm.
sort of, Phil Kurashev is
Hmm.
going to take the Blackhawks to arbitration. So I saw that the team was offering two by $1.4 million, and
Hmm.
he wants one by $2.65 million,
Yeah.
which it boggles my mind, really, truly.
Hmm.
I mean, he had 25 points last season. If you see me on Twitter, I've been, chirping him a little bit, but
Hmm.
2.65, I get that since it's lower term, the AAV is going to have to be a little higher,
Hmm.
but you're a 25-point guy.
Hmm.
You're sure he's a forward. You can play left wing, center, right wing. You can do it all, but if I'm going racking my brain for last year Phil Kurashev highlights,
Hmm.
I'm not really remembering, oh yeah, he's a sicko at the face-off dot. He's
Right.
60% at the face. I think he's like low 50s, maybe high 40s in the
Hmm.
face-off dot. So it's like, okay, you can't really win face-offs, and you're not potting, 20 goals here, 15 goals, 10 goals. I mean, 25 points, dude. Like,
Hmm.
let's be reasonable here.
Yeah.
And I get the Hawks are at a point right now where they have a plethora of money. They have an abundance of cap space, but like, I mean, there's no reason to overpay just to overpay,
Hmm.
especially if he's like, yeah, I'm going to take you to arbitration. You're going to see my case, and you're going to be like, nah, man, we owe him $2.65 million. I just don't see it.
Yeah. Right. And uh, Kershev wanting that 2.65 just for 1 year. You know, if you look from his side, why would you want a little more than 1 million more just for 1 year? But like, why would you want that 1 year contract over a little term, right? So the Hawks offered 2 years, 1.4 mil, right? And if you take the deal with a little term, then you have something to build off of, right? Because the team is completely different right now, and if you take these, um, like like this short term deal, 2 years, maybe you do build off of this, right? On like a middle six role, second, third line, playing with Reichel. I don't understand going for 1 year, just looking for like a payout, right? Um, it's gonna get interesting here, but I hope they work through this. Really do.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Hawks guy for sure.
Right.
And I'm just like looking at his stats here on Cap Friendly.
Mm-hmm.
2021 in the NHL, 54 games for the Hawks, 16 points, dash 9. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
67 games played in 21-22 for 21 points, dash 16. Okay. 70 games played 22-23 for 25 points, 9 goals. Didn't even hasn't eclipsed the 10 goal.
Wow.
No double digit goals.
Mm-hmm.
Dash 32.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yikes.
And
Uh,
he's had a lot of ice time the last few years, right?
yeah.
He's played a lot of top six hockey, right? And I know like our talent wasn't there the last few years, but hey, like if you're getting those big opportunities, and we see him play with some speed, some skill, but he's not the best finisher, just like Double A. He really needs to shore that up, and it's a little confusing.
Yeah. I just, like if you're it seems like last year he was on a 1-year deal for
Mhm.
750,000.
Right, right,
So like that was his, you know, borderline prove it deal.
right.
And he didn't really prove anything. So
Mhm.
and then to be like, all right, we're back, we're negotiating, and I want $2.65 million. You want
Yeah.
a triple, almost like a 3.5x what you got
Mhm.
for 4 more points?
I mean,
I mean,
we need to see
silly.
like 40, 50 points for a little increase there, you know? I'm not sure
Yeah,
if that's like a legit number, you know, from the source, but if that's what the report is, that's just it's confusing, right? It's weird.
yeah. So, I do hope he is back. I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
I know the Hawks do have a plethora of forwards, an overabundance of forwards at the moment.
Mhm.
But that overabundance isn't really, it's quantity, it's not quality. Those are
Right.
all bottom six guys: Reese Johnson, Colin
Mhm.
Blackwell,
Entwistle.
what and Mackenzie Entwistle. Yes,
Right.
those are guys that are, you know good to have them on the team. They'll
Mhm.
chip in, 20, 25 points. They'll stand up for their teammates. You need those types of guys. Need them on the penalty kill.
Mhm.
But so if he does for some reason not come back, I don't really see that.
Yeah.
Um, if the Hawks aren't going to give him, that, I don't really see another team, even ones that are starved for forwards, that are,
Mhm.
say the Edmonton Oilers, they need to
Mhm.
round out their bottom six, or Boston Bruins, they're in cap hell.
Right.
Minnesota Wild in division, it's
Mhm.
not really, you don't really do in division stuff. So yeah, a
Yeah.
little confusing, but hopefully he's back and he'll slide in probably like a third line role,
Mhm.
and we'll take it from there for sure.
Yep, definitely.
And we'll see what, just something to keep an eye on for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, and his the arbitration um hearing is on Thursday. So, um when this video comes out, we should have a little more clarity on this, right? And yeah, hope it works out.
Yeah, we're going into
Mhm.
the 20th, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, cool. Um, any more news that you found? I know
There's
I've seen
mhm.
the Blackhawks have been releasing videos. Conor Bedard got to meet Corey Perry and Corey
Mhm.
Perry's son,
Right.
and Conor Bedard is on the ice with Connor Murphy.
Right. Yeah, just some on ice pictures, short clips, but they haven't released anything like him shooting, skating. Obviously, because I think they filmed most of it before he signed his contract. So maybe there's this policy, right, that they can't release the footage before that contract was
Oh,
official.
for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So now that it is official, now we're starting to see a lot of Bedard content, and we can't get enough of it. We're all here for it.
Yeah, I didn't quite see, I didn't soak it in, at least. I saw his stick rack. So
Right.
he's got so I used to work at Fifth Third Arena, and
hmm
they moved the stick rack over, and
hmm
so they got his stuff in there, and they were just showing it. I want to say it was a CCM, but don't quote me on that because I might be
hmm
getting someone in trouble.
Oh,
um,
actually, he is now sponsored with Sherwood.
oh, Sherwood.
Sherwood, yeah. So throwing it back a little, trying to rejuvenate the brand a bit, and hey, great for Sherwood. I mean, they just landed Connor Bedard.
Yeah, I did see. Uh, it was at that inline hockey tournament.
hmm
I think it was Connor Bedard's teammate, maybe.
hmm
He was showing off a prototype stick from Sherwood.
Really?
So they're not yet released to the public.
Wow.
So maybe he's got something like that, something a little
Yeah.
super secret.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's like a signature model, possibly.
Oh yeah, that would be
Yeah.
really rad.
Right. Can't wait to see this. It's gonna be great here. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'll take a deeper dive
Hmm.
for the gearhead sickos like me.
Yeah.
I love that gear.
Yeah.
I'm a gearhead for sure.
Definitely.
So yeah, as long as it's not a sink, that's all I
Hmm.
care about.
Yeah.
Those sinks are so strange. They're
Ah.
like sinks. I don't even know. Is it CCM that makes those?
It could be. It could be. They make a lot of gear like
Or
that. Right.
The
Uh huh.
Bauer sink. That sounds a little bit better.
Yeah.
All the kids, like all the mission kids, all the junior AAA junior,
Hmm.
they all have them, and they're like so expensive and
Oh wow.
so strange. They've got like the one edge is beveled, so
Hmm.
it's like a dagger on one side where it's got those two um, ridges, but on the
Hmm.
other side it's completely flat. So I
Yeah.
held one and I was just like, dude, how do you get used to this? And whatever. I never played at a high level, so
Right. Right.
just strapped them. I buy the $20 wooden sticks from Play It Again. So
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it. It's
yeah,
expensive, man. Yeah.
definitely.
Hmm.
That's going to be the this episode of the Chicago Blackhawks Hockey Central podcast. Went over Philadelphia Kurashev's arbitration hearing, Conor Bedard doing some inline skating,
Hmm.
and we're going to take a deep dive onto Conor Bedard's gear once we get the
Yeah.
picks, once we get the intel.
Yep.
So I hope you guys have had a great week. It's almost over. It's hump day right now.
Hmm.
And Phil Kurashev's arbitration hearing tomorrow, the 20th. You'll probably be seeing this tomorrow, so it'll be today.
Hmm.
And have a good rest of the week. Skokes, you as well.
Hmm.
Have a good day, and we'll see you. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Let's go Hawks.